Hey there everyone, how's it going? Kurt Singh here with a new Ultra League video. I finally invested all that Stardust that you can see there and made a Shadow Skunk Tank. I have versed it in the past and I have seen some videos on how good it is, especially paired with Drapion. So I finally decided I've got some Stardust saved up, I'm going to spend it and I'm going to see how Drapion and Skunk Tank can do. I don't have a Shadow Drapion, so I do have in place, I do have a second Shadow, and it's my Swampert. So in the first match here, Umbreon into Swampert, I do want to switch into my Drapion most matches as my safe switch. So I switch here to catch the foul play. As you can see there, it's very, does very little damage, not effective at all. Unfortunately, Drapion also can't hit back super hard. I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb. I believe it's going to do a little bit more damage than the Crunch would. The Crunch does have the possibility of dropping the defense, which would be nice. They decided to start going for Last Resorts. As you can see there, it does do more damage. Pacing wise, I think we're very similar. I do think I just slightly outpace. So I get to another Sludge Bomb there just before they get to a Last Resort here. I think if they went Last Resort and I was going Sludge Bomb or Crunch, it might be very close. They might even actually get to a foul play first. However, what this has allowed me to do is bait out kind of the Giratina that they did not want my Drapion to see. So I throw the Crunch and they no-shield it. So now I'm in a good position here. They're down half health. I can block this. And I'm pretty sure they were not expecting to see Skunk Tank in the back. Gonna let this one go through here. I don't want to drop both shields right off the hop. And what do I do here? I do go straight Crunch. If they no shield, for sure it takes out. And if they decide to shield, then I was almost at another Crunch anyways. I'm going to throw a Crunch here. I know it's resisted heavily by the Fairy typing, but I figure I'm going down anyways to their next Charm. Might as well see if I can drop their defense. I don't think I dropped the defense, but I did get a shield out of it. And they catch this first Hydro Cannon on the Umbreon. But if you remember at the start of the game here, I've stayed in with my Swampert when they had their Umbreon for quite a while before I switched to catch that first foul play. So I did have some energy saved up, and that should allow me here. I tried to catch there, didn't work. I feel like if I would have just went straight for the Hydro Cannon, I probably would have got there just before they got to their Crunch. But I did have the shield left, so I was able to throw that, and that'll take out that Ground Ball there. So that's the first good game there. First match. I went, since I did these battles, I haven't used the team again, but I did go 4-1 and 4-1. So 8-2, again, kind of like my Color Cup team. Here, I'm a little bit slow to react. They switch into a Dragonite. I was trying to decide, well, do I want to throw Hydro Cannon right off and then switch? Or do I want to switch? And then I took too much time there. They let the Crunch go, though. One thing with the moveset that I have on Drapion is I feel like a lot of people are not expecting too hard-hitting moves. So I feel like most people are going to assume that I have Aqua Tail and not necessarily shield that first move thinking it's probably going to be a bait. So I do give up a shield. In the back, they've got a Goal Arc, which is not going to be good. Mud Slaps are going to definitely tear through Drapion and Skunk Tank. I do get their first shield, though, with that Crunch. And here I'm almost at 2 Hydro Cannons, so this could still be playable. First Hydro Cannon could get their shield. Second one could pretty much take them out. I do commit the shield here. I'm 1, maybe 2 Mud Slaps away from getting taken out here. Just a Shadow Punch, and then they switch back into their Ninetales. So here I'm going to answer with my Skunk Tank. just a weather ball. Does big chunk of damage still. I think that's also a shadow Ninetales. So here I'm going to go for the Trailblaze. As I don't have a poison move on my Skunk Tank, I figured I would boost my attack for whatever amount I could, but I was so low anyways that the Golaric one Mud Slap and I was dead. So I am luckily able to get to a Hydro Cannon, and it does completely take them out. So that was very close. Good match there. Venusaur into my Swampert. Bad lead. Switch right away. Switching into the Drapion brings out their Greninja. So I'm going to go for a Sludge Bomb. And again, do they expect a Sludge Bomb right off the hop? They do not. They let it go. So that puts me in a really comfortable position here. If they go Night Slash, it's going to do nothing. Hydro Cannon will damage. Does do a pretty big chunk, but I'm already at a crunch now. So I'm going crunch instead of Sludge Bomb again for that chance that they shield. And I have the opportunity to drop the defense. They bring back in Venusaur now. I do still have 2 shields, so I do opt to shield this one because I'm pretty much at a move. I am at a move. So I'm going to go for Crunch instead of Sludge Bomb. Again, it's the possibility of the defense drop, but they catch on to their Feraligatr, but it drops their defense. So that kind of worked the way I wanted it to. So I didn't get their shield. So I'm going to shield this up. It's Hydro Cannon. I'm going to throw right away the Trailblaze because their defense is dropped. I'm anticipating that they'll shield us. They do. But now my attack will get buffed and their defense is dropped still, right? So my poison jabs are going to do a lot more damage. Hydro Cannon, I do survive. I'm curious how much a Shadow Hydro Cannon would do to me. Gonna go for the crunch here on the off chance again that they no shield it. It's gonna do way more damage than if I had done the Trailblaze. And that was, I believe, the right choice because they decided to let that go through. Probably figured I'd go Trailblaze. Frenzy Plant comes through. I do still have a very healthy Swampert, but it would be hard to survive, but they gave up anyways. I think Drapion was healthy enough. So here is Wheezing, Galarian into Swampert. This is a good lead for me. Unfortunately, Wheezing is so fast that even though the Brutal Swings don't do a ton of damage, I can only live 2 of them, right? Third one would take me out completely. So, gonna go for the Hydro Cannon here. They shield, I believe. It's that little glitch. And I'm already so low here that I'm gonna shield this Brutal Swing. And then I'm gonna switch into my Drapion. I'm like, I gotta do something because they're just gonna farm me down, and if they're not switching out, they must be weak in the back to Swampert. Throw the Sludge Bomb here. They let that go, so that's good for me to get that out of there. They have an Ursaring in the back. Rack my brain, I'm like, okay, they've got access to Swift, Close Combat, Wild Charge, I believe. They go for Swift, so I'm glad I did not shield that. I still did a decent chunk, but not anything life-threatening or anything like that. I grabbed their last shield, so that's nice. They're at another move. Do I want to go down Matt Shields? I feel like I might just live this, but I don't. I don't quite live it. So that's a little unfortunate there. But I can bring Swampert back in. Again, Hydro Cannon. It's a Shadow Hydro Cannon. It does a massive amount of damage. Like, it's unreal how much damage that does. Like, it just, boom, gone. And then they got a Raikou in the back. I switched right away. Probably could have stayed in, actually. Because the electric typing on Raikou doesn't really affect the Swampert all that much, being the ground typing, right? So here they've thrown, I'm gonna shield this. It's a wild charge. And so I win that one, another good match there. Typhlosion into Swampert. This is a really good lead for myself. 1, 2, they switch into Greninja, and I feel like I probably should have saved the energy. I do believe that I lose this match. I feel like I would have been better off if I had saved the energy, because they shield that earthquake, and now I have no energy left on Swampert. Bring in my Drapion. Go for the Night. They go Night Slash. They had another move. Hydro Cannon, like you guys saw a match ago, is going to do a decent chunk. Getting up to the Sludge Bomb over farm just slightly. Throw the Sludge Bomb here. Gets him deep into the red there. Crunch comes through. I'm going for a crunch, sorry. That takes out. Cobalion in the back. And now this is looking a little bit tricky. Cobalion is fairly decent against both Drapion and Skuntank. Match shields here. Swampert, I think, has a positive lead, but again, I didn't save my energy, right? So I'm like drawing energy. They've used my last shield. They're already at another move. And Sacred Sword doesn't hit super, super hard, but it does a decent amount. Can't live another one, that's for sure. So I gotta try to get their shield. This I think would almost take out. I don't think it would quite take out, being the steel and fighting type. If I had done the earthquake, it would, but I didn't think I was gonna reach it. So I switch into the Skuntank. They Stone Edge me, take half health. They bring in Typhlosion. I'm trying desperately to get to a move, but keep in mind they still have a shield. So this is hopefully going to grab the shield. Does get their last shield. They're able to farm me down, and now I have no energy on Swampert. So I can't say for sure I could have won this game, but I feel like had I saved those pretty much 2 back-to-back Hydro Cannons on Swampert, I feel like I probably would have actually had a better chance of winning that, because I would have had more energy. Into the next set of battles here. Swampert into Feraligatr. Gonna catch whatever the move it is, Hydro Cannon or Crunch, onto my Drapion. It's just Hydro Cannon. Ampharos, they switch into Ampharos. Gonna go for the Sludge Bomb, probably should do Crunch. I think both hit neutral. They Trailblaze me. So again, I think they both hit neutral. Crunch has the opportunity to drop their defense, so I think maybe Sludge Bomb does a little bit more. I think it's just a little bit harder hitting move, so in a neutral situation, it probably hits a little bit harder. Do make a last second crunch there. They block that. I can come in with Swampert, and pretty much I was like, they have access to Trailblaze. That'll one-shot me. I'm going to throw a shield up here, and they Trailblaze. So very glad that I did that. And there's the Giratina they were trying to hide from me. So I switch into my Skuntank. I wish Skuntank was a little bit faster, kind of like Drapion, because it just takes a little bit longer to get to those crunches, and it's not quite as bulky as a Drapion is. Also, it is a shadow, so that plays a little bit into it. But man, does it hit hard. Like that crunch, and got their defense to drop. So, like, gotta like that. I'm gonna shield up this Dragon Claw. And I'm over farming, and then I think the tap didn't quite go through. I was worried they were gonna throw there. Crunch gets their shield. Then I switch into Swampert, and I throw right away, trying to take them out because I know they've got saved energy. They catch my Hydro on Feraligatr. So this is not looking good, but Feraligatr either just got to the Hydro or they were over farming. Get to the Earthquake, take out the Feraligatr. Now they're not going to be happy. Giratina, I think, has energy, but whatever they have isn't going to take me out. They do come in and throw. I'm able to get a little bit of energy here. They're low enough, I might be able to just farm down. Can I mud shot down? I do manage to mud shot down, and I have a hydro cannon loaded. Ampharos comes in, throws the volt switch, but the damage isn't going to register before I get this off. So another very close game, but I do manage to pull that one out. Swampert into Dragonite again. I want to build up a bunch of energy. I do throw the Hydro Cannon to start with this match. Again, Dragonite's not super tanky, so this is going to do about half health. And then I switch into Drapion. Again, a little bit mixed on that. I've given up my energy on Swampert. They superpower me, and then they can dip out. Now they got Blast Burn. They've got Typhlosion in the back with access to Blast Burn. And builds energy so fast. They let that Crunch go through. I'm kind of actually really surprised on that one, because even if they thought I had Aqua Tail would be super effective against the Fire type, right? So a little surprised by that. Maybe because they know that I have Swampert, they felt they needed to save shields. I'm going to shield this just in case it's Blast Burn. It is. I know that it's like double resisted. However, Blast Burn still does a lot of damage. I honestly think a Blast Burn would take me out from that range, being a shadow. So I give up both shields there, unfortunately. They come back in with Dragonite. Get their last shield. And now it's a race. Can I farm them down? Because this superpower is going to hurt a lot. Shadow and Dark, they superpower me. I do manage to take them out though with poison jabs. But in the back, they've got a Galarian Weezing. So this game is pretty much over. I'm going to try to play it out here, throw the Crunch, get the defense drop, so that's positive. So those poison jabs started to really do some damage, but they get energy so fast. Brutal Swing, I think, would take me out, but they go straight Overheat, no question, just boom, see ya, thanks for playing. So that was the second loss there. Swampert into Tentacruel, positive matchup for me. As you can see, the mud shots do add up quite quickly. Scald's gonna do decent damage though, right? Ground typing. I'm also Shadow, and I shield an Acid Spray. How frustrating is that? So they Acid Spray me and dip out into Zygarde. I'm gonna stay in here and toss this Earthquake. I do get a shield, and then I'm gonna switch into Drapion. And as soon as I did that, I was like, oh no, they have access to Bulldoze. They have Bulldoze. This thing can beat Drapion and Skuntank. But they don't throw it. They didn't throw it. I believe that was a Crunch. Bounce back forth, defense drops. Go for another one here. I actually had really good success in these two matches here, or like the 2 sets of 5. Look at that, back-to-back defense drops. I'm pretty sure it's only a chance, and I don't think it's a super high chance that your defense drops, but they gotta drop another one as well. So crazy. 4 defense drops is in a row, I believe. So this Crunch, they decided to shield, and I think it dropped their defense again. It did. It dropped their defense again. So now there are 3 stages dropped. I'm gonna shield this up. Crunch would take me out, I believe. So I shield that Crunch, and they don't get the drop. So at this point, I just want to farm down. You know, trying to be a little bit smarter with my energy. Have a Feraligatr in the back with no shield. So this Earthquake is going to do a lot of damage. It's not super effective or anything, but it does a lot of damage. Switch into my Skuntank. And Trailblaze isn't going to do a lot because the poison typing with Tentacruel, it's going to be resisted. So it's kind of just a neutral hit. My attack does draw a raise though. So as long as I can live the Scald, I should be able to get to another one here. But the problem is I'm not going to have much energy for the for Alligator, and they've reset that debuff that it had. I think it had a debuff. The poison jabs are adding up though, so they have to throw here or I take them out. So do they have the back-to-back move, or am I going to be able to mudshot down? I am able to mudshot down before they get to move. So that's ideal there. Swampert into Florges. I've played Florges a lot, and I swear that it feels like people think that it's a grass Pokemon, so they switch out right away, but it's actually a fairy. It does have access to Petal Blizzard though, which I like running. But it's actually totally okay to stay in and do what I did there, and then they bring in Venusaur. Going straight Sludge Bomb. I feel like, like I said earlier, most people are going to expect an Aqua Tail here, and they do let it go. So I'm off on a pretty good start here. I do think I'd give up a shield here just because I'm like, Frenzy still hits hard even though it's resisted. Poison and stuff like that, right? But I was like, well, it's a solid blue shield, so I feel like I'll let the next one go and see just how much damage it does. They do shield that Sludge Bomb. I'm almost at another one. So I'm going to let this Frenzy go through. I do feel like, yeah, does hardly anything. I was like, in the moment, I was thinking, even if it gets me almost red, I'm going to threaten their shield, I think, if their last shield, or take them out, or get like them very, very low. So I'm going to just save the shield. So they bring in for Alligator there. They let that move go through. I'm going to shield up here. I want to kind of save my Drapion. It's got energy, so I want to save it. I'm going to bring in Skunk Tank. And now with Skunk Tank, I know it can survive a Hydro Cannon. So it can survive the one, and I can hopefully farm down here. I'm really trying. Yes, I do. So this is good now. I got energy on Drapion. I got a fairly healthy Swampert, and I've got to move on Skunk Tank. So Venusaur comes back in. I'm going to go for the Crunch. Again, Trailblaze would be nice to boost my attack. However, they shield, and that Crunch has the opportunity to drop the defense, which it did. So going to go for another Crunch here. It's interesting how like you can play these things so many different ways, right? I could have gone for 2 Trailblazes and increased my fast move pressure. But I had that save move there, so the goal was to try to get rid of that shield, which I did, and then I was able to Sludge Bomb for the win. So Swampert into Giratina now, and again, I want to try to build up some energy. I'm okay even taking a first move here, because if I can build up a bunch of energy and then take that first move, then I can switch out. It's not going to damage me too much, but then I can start racing towards building all my Drapion here. And I know in the back, I've got that Swampert that's got almost 2 Hydro Cannons loaded, right? So it's really, really nice. They have a Muck in the back. So I think if I remember this match correctly, at this point, I was pretty much, okay, I'm tanking. I'm just tanking Drapion here. I'm going to do as much damage as I can. I'm going to go for the crunches, knowing they're resisted. Try to get the defense drops. See if I can maybe get a shield, because like just chip, right? Knowing that I have the Skunk Tank in the back for the Giratina, and knowing that Swampert can take out this Muck super easily. Oh, and then I decide shield. So just after I laid all that out, I shield up a Dark Pulse for some weird reason, switch into my Swampert, throw an Earthquake, and they answer with their Giratina. So we're kind of playing cat and mouse here. They want to get rid of that Drapion really, really bad, and I decided to save it for some reason, and now I'm going to go down both shields. I don't remember this one now. I was thinking completely different here. Now it's 2 shields for them, none for me. Going for a Hydro Cannon. This is going to be close to taking out from this range. It does take out. And in the back, they got a fairy, so that's what they were worried about. They didn't want to see Drapion. But what they don't know is that I still have the Skunk Tank in the back. So I get the first shield. And now what do? I come in straight Skunk. and take whatever move this is. And what were they throwing? Acid Spray and Dark Pearls? Or just Dark Balls? So I take that one. If I can go Trailblaze here, boost my attack, hopefully they shield, because I can live another move here, whatever they throw. So I can live this move, and then I can commit to the farm, I leave, and I think I go Trailblaze. And the point here was I figured I'm already one boosted. This will do neutral damage instead of resisted, and then the poison jabs will do a lot more. And man, did they start shredding through. And I still have almost 2 Sludge Bombs saved on my Drapion. So, and I figured even if they throw a move, well, I don't know if they would have lived. It probably would have lived. But anyways, thank you again for watching. If you've made it this far, leave me a like and a comment. Subscribe. Look forward to seeing you guys all in the next video. Good luck out there battling, and yeah, I'll bring you another video shortly. See you guys later.